Stop sitting on your butt, get up, and start acting on that side hustle. If you've been thinking about doing a side hustle and you don't know where to start, you're sitting on an idea wondering whether it is good enough or whether you are good enough, let me tell you something. You gotta act on those ideas right now or they are gonna be gone for good. And you don't want that. Hello, this is Ida, and I create videos on financial education. And today we're talking about side hustles. Look, you might have a great idea that you want to work on. You might have a great product or service or a thing that you want to do. But you are stuck in this place of analysis paralysis, thinking number one, you're not good enough, or people are not going to like what I'm bringing to them, or whatever thing you're telling yourself. Hey, snap out of it. I want to tell you something. If you don't act on it right now, it's going to be gone and it's going to be gone for good. And when you look around and you see somebody else who is creating something which is very similar to what you were doing, your regret is going to be, I thought about that. That idea came to me, but I didn't act on it. But then it's going to be too late. So now is a time for you to go ahead and act on those ideas that you have sitting in you. Create your side hustle. In this video today, I want to give you 4 things, a framework that is going to help you to move from that idea to the action. But before that, let me tell you the story of how I got into doing my business. I'm an accountant, like I already mentioned, and a financial coach, and I have been doing this business is going on 10 years now. I started this in 2014, and I wasn't ready for it when I started. I'm in Canada. If you are watching this from Canada, you already know when you go on maternity leave, you get a full year of being in the house. So I'd gone on the first maternity leave, and when I came back from it and I resumed my work, I had forgotten almost every single thing about how to do the job. And so my reintegration into the workforce after the full year of maternity leave, for me, it was slower paced than I wanted it to be. And through no fault of anybody's, I had been home taking care of my daughter, like most of you parents would be out there taking care of your children. And during maternity leave, you don't want to be thinking about work. But when I came back, the ripple effect of not doing any work, like any accounting or office work while I was at home, is that it was a really slow reintegration back into the workforce. And so when I went on my second maternity leave, I didn't want that experience of coming back and not knowing what it is I'm supposed to be doing, because that's not me. You got to know who you are. You got to know what it is that you're comfortable with. But for me, that was not me. And so when I went on my second maternity leave, I took it upon myself to say, you know what? This is a good time for you to continue to practice the things that you want to be able to do when you get back to the office. And for me, practicing is not just about reading stuff. For me, practicing is actually doing it. And so, being on maternity leave, and the intention of this not actually to create a business per se, the intention of it was just to have a place to practice. But practicing for me meant actually doing it. So I decided to start my side hustle at the time, helping people in whatever time I had, when my baby was sleeping or when I could, when I could squeeze the time to do other things. I decided to start helping people to do their bookkeeping and their accounting. And I started learning how to use QuickBooks Online, which was a software that was just coming out in the market at the time. And the company I was working for wasn't using it at the time, but I wanted to take the time on my own and learn something new that I saw that people were going to need. And so that's how I decided to create my company at the time. I incorporated my business and I helped quite a few people with their accounting and bookkeeping stuff. And that was just by the side, but that was all done through my corporation. And that's how my side hustle started. So when I got back after maternity leave, I returned to work and I was back to being a full-time employee and the whole 9 yards, until very recently when I'm back to now doing my full-time accounting, taxes, financial coaching, and all the other things that you see, including my YouTube channel that you see right here. So what I'm saying, or why I'm sharing that story, is to let you know that when those ideas come to you, it's for you to act on them. Because if I hadn't acted on the idea that I had when it came to me at the time, I don't think I would have ever created a company. Maybe I would eventually, or maybe not, I don't know. But at the time, there was a trend. There were new people requesting a particular service that I was able to jump onto that train at the time, because I had started my business. I had put myself in the market in a place where people knew that that's a service I offered and that's something that I could help them with. If you're watching this and you need help with accounting, taxes, bookkeeping, check a link in the description below and we could work on something. But anyway, the purpose of this video is to share with you 4 questions that you should ask yourself when you are looking to start your side hustle and you don't know where to begin and you're stuck in this analysis paralysis. Stop all the analysis you're doing and take these 4 questions. Ready for it? Number 1, the first question you should ask yourself is, do I enjoy it? The thing I'm looking at starting as a side hustle, do I enjoy it? The answer to that has to be yes for you to proceed. Now, let's say your answer is yes. Second question, does it solve an actual problem? Does it solve an actual problem? The answer to that has to be yes. So number 1, do you enjoy it? Number 2, does it solve an actual problem? Number 3, is the intention of my business a good one? Is the intention of your business a good one? The idea you have, the side hustle idea you have. If it's a good intention, perfect. Now go to the 4th question. Are people going to pay me for it? Are there people who are willing to pay me for it? All 4 answers have to be affirmative. Number 1, do I enjoy it? Yes. Number 2, does it solve an actual problem? Yes. Number 3, is the intention of the business a good one? Yes. Number 4, are people willing to pay me for it? Yes. If you answer yes to those 4 questions, stop the thinking, stop the analysis, stop whatever you're trying to figure out if you're good enough or not good enough. Just stop and start acting on that idea right now. It doesn't matter what the side hustle is. It doesn't matter. It could go from a barbershop to pastries to creating a consultancy or coaching, or it doesn't matter. If you answer yes to those 4 questions, I want you to start acting on that idea right now. Because if you've been thinking about starting it for a long time and you're sitting waiting for the perfect time, hey, there's no perfect time. You got to start right now. You might be saying to yourself, I don't have money to start my side hustle. Listen up. It doesn't take money to start a side hustle. It takes you having people who are willing to buy your product to start a side hustle. There is a book that I read, Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you read through that book, you are going to figure out that there are ways for you to actually start your business without the money. Just having a willing customer for your product or service, and you are going to be able to do it. So don't sit on the idea that I don't have money to start my side hustle for that to be the reason why you're not starting. Don't think you're not good enough. You are definitely good enough. Whatever other things you might be saying to yourself, I don't have time. Well, you do have time. Hey, you have time. I started my side hustle in maternity. I just had a newborn baby and I had a previous. So I had 2 kids under 2 at the time when I started my side hustle. It wasn't as big as it could be at the time, but I started. And in starting it, I was able to continue doing it. And right now, this is what I do full time, but only because I was able to start. So don't tell me I don't have time, because you do. Look at your phone. Check how much time you spend on social media. Check how much time you spend on screen time. Like, just check and see how you're actually spending your time. And ask yourself, if I just cut the time that I spend on this particular activity in half, let's say I just dedicate 1 hour of my time every single day to doing something which is for my side hustle. Is that going to be something great? Yes. It might not be as much time as you want to right now, but it's good enough. Let's say you're currently in your job. Let's say you're so busy and the only time you have is your break time at work. Well, your break time is probably 30 minutes to an hour. Eat fast and take the remaining 30 minutes to do something. Start your side hustle right now. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a grandiose solution to a problem you're looking for. Just answer those 4 questions. Do I enjoy it? Does it solve an actual problem? Is the intention for the business a good one? And are people willing to pay me for it? If you answer yes to those questions, stop sitting on your butt, get up, and start acting on that side hustle. And if you love this video, check out this one right next to me. I think you'll love it.